Spurgeon here with RevZilla TV to talk to you today about the Tourmaster Select 14-liter tank bag available at RevZilla.com. Now, the 14-liter Select tank bag from Tourmaster is going to be a mid-size bag, and it's really going to be aimed at you riders out there rocking street bikes. Now, despite the fact that this is going to be aimed at street riders, you can really use this for virtually any motorcycle in your garage because there's two unique mounting systems for this particular bag. For those of you out there rocking a metal tank, you're going to be able to choose the magnetic harness system, which is going to allow you to simply throw this on your bike and take off for a ride. For those of you out there that don't want to use a magnet system, or perhaps you have a plastic tank, there is a universal harness system as well, and you can use that for your motorcycle. Now, on our BSD, our beard scale of difficulty for installation, we're looking at a 1 out of 3. For those of you out there with the universal mounting harness, that means about 15 minutes to a half an hour in the garage getting it installed, and you'll be able to take it out for a spin. For those of you out there with the magnetic harness, you're simply going to throw it on your bag and take off for a ride. It's that simple. Now, we'll spend some time at the end talking about installation for this, but for right now, let's jump in and talk about what sets the Select 14-liter bag apart from some of the other tank bags out there in the market. So Tourmaster has been around since 1980, and they've really made a name for themselves by making quality luggage that's not going to break the bank. Personally, I've spent about 10 years rocking Tourmaster bags in different situations, and this stuff simply holds up. A lot of that's going to come into play with the construction that we're going to see here. Tourmaster for this particular bag is going to use a 600D Carbolex material, and this is the same beefy material that we see them use in their jackets. So it's really designed to take a beating. With a tank bag, it's going to hold up through years and years of abuse because of the material being used. Now, we've got the material covered. Let's break down what you're seeing here. So starting with the top, there's going to be a nice large map pocket. This is going to work great for you guys out there that want to use an iPhone for a GPS or maybe an iPad for a GPS. Personally, I still like to use a paper map, and this is going to work really well. For those of you out there that don't want this, it is going to be completely removable. You're going to have two snaps up top. You're going to pull that off. And if you notice underneath, there's going to be a really nice design to the top of this. One of the things that Tourmaster does that I really like is they actually finish the top. A lot of other manufacturers, you take the map pocket off and there's really nothing underneath there. There's a nice line of reflectivity, nice Tourmaster logo sewn in. Now, as far as reflectivity goes, you're going to see a ton of reflectivity on this bag. The side panels on this are going to have just huge amounts of Fossilite reflectivity built into the actual side pockets. There's going to be side pockets again on either side, nice additional storage for the bag, and then you're going to have one main compartment. Now, as we open up the main compartment on this, it's going to be a little bit different than a traditional bag. You're going to have a Velcro strap at the front holding it down, and then you're going to have a dual zipper setup, so two separate zippers on either side. You're going to open that up, and you have a massive flap that opens up with the actual main compartment. You're going to see different arrays of pockets on the inside of the flap, and you're going to have one main section in here, and I'm going to set this aside because we're going to talk about that in a second. You're going to have one main compartment, and the one thing that I like about this bag, for those of you out there using delicate items that you want to take along on the road with you, DSLR camera, something like that, there's going to be a lot of padding built into both the base and the walls of this bag. So if you're out there bumping along in a ride, you don't have to worry about anything in here really taking the abuse. Just a nice addition from Tourmaster. One of the other things they've done is there's also going to be electric ports at both the front and the rear of the bag. So if you have an iPhone or an iPod in here, you want to run headphones out. If you want to run cables to a GPS unit, you're going to have ports to run those cables out of the bag, again, both the rear of the bag and the front of the bag. And that's going to be able to be used with the actual rain cover that they're going to include with the bag itself. So for those of you out there that are wondering, hey, I ride in the elements, there's going to be an included rain cover with an actual pocket built in to store it. Now, this is going to kind of work us into the installation because you're going to see this little hook up front. For those of you that are running the magnetic bag, this little strap is going to be included as just a safety harness to use to lock around the steering stem if you're rocking the magnetic bag. Now, for our BSD, our beard scale of difficulty for installation for this piece, we talked about in the beginning, it's a 1 out of 3. That's really for you folks out there using the universal mounting harness. The universal mounting harness is going to have mounts at the front and the back, and you're simply going to take some time and secure it down to a hard part, either around the frame, perhaps around the triple tree. Just make sure not to attach it anywhere that's going to impede with the steering. For those of you that are rocking the actual magnetic pads, again, you're going to throw this on your metal tank, you're going to take off, and you're going to ride. It's really that simple. Now, I've been using Tourmaster luggage for years. I think this stuff holds up great, and it really does its job. It works well, it's easy to use, and you can beat the hell out of it out in a ride. There's a lot of folks out there using Tourmaster luggage. If you want to hear more about what they have to say, do me a favor, click below. Read what other riders are digging about the Tourmaster setups they have on their motorcycles. More questions for us? Never hesitate. Get us on the phone. Give us a call, 877-792-9455, or simply type us out an email, cs@RevZilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the Tourmaster Select 14-liter bag. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.